Ladies and gentlemen, the music's looping. The music's looping.
I'd say we just roll with it. Let's just roll with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. You can see it. Me and Will both back. A fully formed Voltron, all the Power Rangers and the Megazord, whatever you want to call it. We're back to full strength. We're both here. Will, how you doing, bud?
I'm good. We're both here, man, but I'm still too lazy to go back and restart this. We're just going to roll with it because we're not live, folks. We could really just go back and tweak it right now, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just too lazy. I'm too tired. It's been too long, man. It's been almost
a little
month.
extra music isn't going to kill anybody.
No, and it's been about a month, so I don't even remember how to do this thing.
Yeah, we were talking off air before. We kind of had to do like a little dry test run to make sure we remember how to do all this stuff and get everything right. So bear with us. This could be a very interesting episode.
Oh yeah, this will be the I can't even hear myself. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, this will be the train wreck episode. I think it's like officially, man. I think it's like 24.
Yes, I believe officially episode.
Not counting the bonus, right? The bonus episodes. I think it's like 24.
Those are all extra.
Sure, almost getting to the 25th episode, and it is Boss Day, so I call myself the boss. So happy Boss Day out there! It is. Check the calendar. I ain't making it up. When are we recording? What's today? The Monday.
Today's a Monday. Monday the 17th.
Well, it's good to talk to you, man, because it's been almost a month.
Yeah, it's been a while, and look, I apologized on the last episode when I did the Comic-Con haul video. Apologies to everybody out there who listens and follows. Life sometimes just gets in the way and things kind of get a little messed up. That's kind of what happened.
No, it was a train wreck. I got vertigo and like, yeah, man, it's like ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, that thing's a nightmare to deal with.
Yeah, and I never had it, and as I got older, I get on roller coasters, get some motion sickness. Anytime at Universal or Disney or any type of those rides where it's like anything pretty much 3D with the glasses, they interact with the Transformers one.
Yeah, Spider-Man, that's another one.
Spider-Man, the whole thing, man. Like I'll get a little sweats and stuff as I get older because getting older sucks, kids, just to let you know.
Yes, it does.
Well, it's not fun. But yeah, man, so I developed this vertigo. So, I'm not here to cry about it. It could be a lot worse things, but I do want to say, in case I kind of head down or you see me kind of tip over, just let it happen. I'm okay. I put some pillows down around me.
Pillows, some bubble wrap. It looks like a murder scene.
Yeah, it's bad. I'll make sure that this time no toys hit me, nothing else takes it out. But no, man, I just want to get back. It was like I got this. I had some other stuff go on. It was crazy, man, and it was like the news just kept coming and coming and coming. Now we're getting into like the holiday season coming up. We're almost to Halloween. Yep. And it's just like it just kept coming, and it's amazing how this pop culture stuff was bringing like stress levels my way. Like I don't know about you, man, but like with all this stuff breaking, like it's supposed to be the escape crap, but it was more intense than I anticipated with some of the stuff with the releases, with all the movie
right?
trailers.
When you're on the level of like where we are, where it's such an avid collecting, different lines. There goes something.
There goes Optimus Prime. I'm gonna have to move in.
It only took 4.5 minutes for the toy.
I didn't even touch him. Gravity, man. Down. Gravity does not discriminate. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, when you collect as much as we do, and you're into as many different lines as we are, and all the stuff that we buy, and it's just so much. And like you said, it is exhausting. It's stress inducing. Coming off of Comic-Con 2 weeks ago, that was stressful. Like it all just adds up.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous how the we've talked about it. Like we sound like a broken record, but it's like the gift or the curse of what do you want to happen? Do you want more product of your favorite IP out there? Do you want more, figures, things like that? Mm-hmm. But it feels like, I swear to God, man, it feels like a deluge. It's almost like people think a recession's coming and they're just trying to pile on to get every last dollar.
I don't know where you get that idea.
I don't know. But it's crazy with all that in the news, and it looks more and more likely. And at the same time, we're getting slammed with this stuff. And I bring that up not because I really want to talk about the real world, but when we talk about, and we've talked about this 1,000 times with all the pre-orders.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows, man? Like, especially these pre-orders now, we we celebrate some of these businesses that allow us to pre-order and then sober up and cancel. But you've got other ones where you got to pay up front, man, and they have your money for a year, 6 months, 2 years. And with the way everything's going, it's going to be crazy. And I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe I just picked the wrong lines to collect, but they're just inundating with product, and it's just tough to make a decision. And it was funny, and we'll get into more details when we get into the toys. But so the X-Men, Marvel Legends X-Men,
Mhm.
VHS line that I was
Awesome line.
yeah, I love it because I love the VHS, I love the animated series. I know a lot of folks are not happy with the cell shading. I happen to like it. It's a little different. I think they did a good job. Worst case scenario, don't like it, get some, rubbing alcohol and take that stuff off. But the announcement, they made an announcement on one of these Hasbro live streams that they were going to take a pause on the Marvel VHS line for a little bit. And I think
Mhm.
it'll be Spider-Man for 2023. I about shed a tear. I was dude, I wish more lines were telling me the end is coming so I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. Not that
Yeah.
I want more product, but I just need like a timeout. Like I just need, I need a break.
Well, like you said, it's nice being able to get like, here's your first 5 or 6 figures, and then we're gonna give you a year off. Like with like collecting Black Series, right? That's the one I always used to do. Black Series, you get a wave in, and then 2 weeks later, here's another wave. And then you pre-order that, and that's another $160. And then here's another wave, and here's an exclusive. Here's this. It's too much sometimes.
It's too much. It's too much. They expect us to have willpower, and we just don't. We just don't.
Yeah.
If we had willpower, we wouldn't collect any of this crap. See, that's the problem. They assume for you to have it, and it's no. If we had any willpower, we'd realize like I'm not buying this stuff, but we don't. So, I guess what I'm hinting at is we probably could get a class action lawsuit going because they're preying on us. I don't necessarily know we're a protected class, but we're being harmed here as far as they know they can take advantage of us. Um, but yeah, man, it's been rough. Like I'll tell you what, like to be a Masters of the Universe fan right now, it's great you're getting us, but I mean,
I mean,
my
it's
wallet
insane.
can't take it. It's ridiculous. It went from nothing to everything. Joe's now going to be adding another line. Turtles, forget about it. I mean,
It's impossible.
and you saw it firsthand. That the NECA stuff coming down for Turtles is absolutely unbelievable. I
Yeah,
mean,
it looks great.
it's hard to resist. I mean, it's basically like, oh yeah, you think you can resist? Look at this. Look at this. Um, yeah, man. And it's like, you got that, you got Super 7, you got Playmates putting their own thing out. I mean, you've got every possible line. You've got Super 7 doing the Joes. You've got, what else coming down the line too? Like I think I said to you offline, I'm almost happy that with Thundercats is just Super 7 because I could just focus on that one line
Yeah.
and every couple months get a couple figures and call it a day. Because if they keep expanding out, it's crazy. And it's a fun time of year. I love the holiday season, but man, it's gonna be a stressful holiday season. I basically just need to put a cap on it right now.
Yeah, or pick up a part-time job to buy all the toys you want. So,
Right.
it's really the only 2 options.
Oh, it is. It's crazy, man. It really is. It really is. When you sit and you look at it, and I know we've talked, man, like making spreadsheets or trying to keep, because you've got 5 or 6 different websites you're pulling from or
Yep.
waste orders. I mean, geez, if I put that much effort into my budgeting for my normal, regular, everyday life, I wouldn't have a care in the world. The time I spend on my toy auditing, if I would put that into, I don't know, my actual family living budget savings, be fine. But yeah, man, it's funny to oh, you're griping and complaining about the stuff, but it does feel like we're getting to a point, or we're at a point where
Mhm.
it is completely overwhelming that these IPs have been farmed out, and all the different names to multiple companies,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
I mean, they're all over the place. I mean, you can think of them just what you saw at Comic Con.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you said, you're buying Super 7, you're buying NECA, you're buying Hasbro, I mean, you mentioned Masters of the Universe. Every company in the world that makes toys has a licensing for Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, Sweeterhead, Mondo, like it
Yeah,
doesn't
Mondo's another
stop.
one, it's
Jeez.
And then the prices on these things just seem to keep going up and up and up. And yeah, you mentioned Mondo, $300 to $400 a figure. Go back to Eternia, the He-Man playset. $650 shipped. Like it's not cheap.
No, it's not, man. It's not cheap. And then, like you were saying before, you make these exclusives, and then you got the stress of trying to hunt them down, and that
Yep.
FOMO, fear of missing out. Where I know we'll talk more later about Eternia play set and how FOMO plays into that. But yeah, it's crazy, man. It's good. It used to be certain people be like, well, I'm living a good enough lifestyle. I can collect these sort of things. Now it's like, where do you start and when do you stop and when do you end and when does it end? I think I felt like, and we talked about this, but most of my collecting always came based out of nostalgia.
Mhm.
I'll gravitate towards things that'll hold a special place in my heart. But I will tell you what, I didn't worry about finances when I was a little kid. So it
Yeah, it's
doesn't
easy
very,
when you're
very
9.
right. So it's not very nostalgic when I do when I'm looking at how much I spent and go, nowadays. So
Or
it's
or if I think we're both in agreement. If it was like when we were kids and $20 bought me 6 action figures, I wouldn't care so much.
yeah, and it's crazy. I mean, to be honest, most we've talked about it. These are all for adults. Kids don't play with toys anymore. They don't.
No, it's video games, VR, metaverse, stuff
Yes,
that we don't understand.
it's all adults. It used to be creepy to be going down the toy aisle, but
Yep.
now it's like commonplace. Like now you notice where in the stores where they've moved like the collector fig, it's not next to like the kiddie toys and the dolls. They're
No,
pushing
it's
it
next
out
to the
more to the
TVs and
collectible.
the cell phones.
Right. Right. So then they're saying when you're putting on that front, getting your wife a new phone or new TV or a new AirPods, and then you can make a detour and pick up a Man at Arms figure. It's a good night. Um, but it's crazy, man. Like I'm going to be honest with you, especially I told you that I've been sick and stuff like that, doing a lot of thinking. It's like it's got to give somewhere because it feels like the walls are closing in, and I don't mean that like in a financial sense. Like, what do I do? Like, that's a whole other story. I'm just talking about like I literally running out of room, and I don't even know. When you start getting stuff and you don't remember when you got it, or you don't remember pre-ordering it, it's a problem. So
Yeah, or you open up a storage box and have no idea what's in it and don't realize half the stuff in it you don't even want.
no, it's funny. I'm not going to move the camera because it took me 45 minutes to get it semi straight,
We'll
but
never get you back if you do.
no, my whole wall next to me right now, and I usually keep this really clear except for what's in there. My whole wall is stuff that's going,
Mhm.
and some good stuff. I just, like I said, I'm paring down, and I think once I clear all this stuff out, I'm gonna start looking around and just pare down a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
you have to at some point.
it's crazy, but like you said too, it's you can't win because if you decide to go, hey, you're gonna go high end and start getting some of these Mayfex and Mondo and Hot Toy figures, you're going to have more room, but you're going to have little money still either way. So
Yeah, and the stuff you're selling is just getting rolled right back into buying new stuff anyway. So it's not like you're putting money back into your pocket.
no, so I don't know, man. You know these are the times we live in
Yeah, and
as a
and look,
collector.
we're gonna get more into this as we get to the toy news. This was basically just a 15-minute rant of us, struggling to buy all this stuff that we like.
I know, man. Well, Christmas is coming. I got to prepare, or just regift some of this stuff.
I mean, all you do is buy an action figure that you want for somebody else, and then when they say, "Oh, I'm not really a big fan," okay, I'll take it back, no problem, thank you.
Yeah, there you go. So you solved it. But yeah, that was about as ranty as I'm going to get right now because I know we got a lot of stuff to get into. I'm excited to talk about with you.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't only toy news that dropped. It was a ton of movie and TV stuff. So we're gonna run through a lot of stuff pretty quickly. Before we do that, as always, follow us on the socials on Twitter at VSG Podcast. Follow us, give us tweet at us, let us know what you guys are thinking. And if you don't have Twitter, at VS Growth Podcast at gmail.com, shoot us an email. As always, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. It helps us out a tremendous amount. Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, like, subscribe on there too. It really helps us out.
It does. It helps out immensely. Then we help you out too because you get to see all this glorious content as soon as it's dropped. So
Yeah, it's the best
so
way to keep up to date with us.
it's a win-win.
All right, so let's jump into movies and TVs. We're gonna cover, like I said, we're gonna kind of run through a lot of stuff. Let's start off with some Star Wars news. Let's talk about Andor.
Let's talk about Andor,
They
man.
dropped the first 3 episodes together. That's all I've watched so far. I am 3 episodes behind.
Yeah.
Um, have you watched all of them? What are you thinking?
So I'm caught up. It is all the stuff that you hear. It is when I say adult, I don't want to give the wrong impression that it's inappropriate, but it's more of a nuanced Star Wars show. Um,
Yeah, 100%.
that you could tell from that first episode, and I would say too, there's not a lot. I was watching. I want to say it was episode 4 or 5 the other day,
Mhm.
and I'm caught up. I just finished 6, but like it was all just human type characters. There were no technically aliens or anything else that would say so. It feels very grounded, as Rogue One did too. But Rogue One, you still had the stormtroopers. I think there was a
Mhm.
scene, and I'm not going to spoil anything because I know you're catching up, and I don't want to spoil it for the folks who haven't seen it yet. But there was a scene where a TIE fighter pilot then makes an appearance, and then I go, oh, okay, yeah, I'm watching a Star Wars show again. So,
Yeah.
and I don't mean that in a bad way, because I'm actually really enjoying it. It's different. It's a slow burn, but it's gotten better every week. We were talking offline. It's like every section is a 3 episode contained little arc, and then you've got
Mhm.
your overall story going through. But if you watch it in chunks, 3 episodes at a time, you'll get your story arc. I think I'm into it. It's this last 3 story arc was basically putting the team together and the origins of a heist, and I loved it. So. I'm digging it so far. It's completely different. If you're looking for lightsabers and crazy space,
Yeah,
battles,
not the show for you.
you're not going to get that. We know where this is going. It's leading into Rogue One, but I'm really digging it so far. Like I said, it's completely different. The pacing, but I will say this too. Um, and I'm not trying to bring up anything kind of upsetting, but when I watched Boba Fett, the first couple episodes,
Mhm.
it was kind of slow, but it was like I was getting bored slow at some part.
Yeah.
Like it was like I'm not. This is slower pace, but I've not been bored watching this.
Yeah,
So
same with me. Like I watched, like I said, I watched the first 3 episodes. I am behind on the newest 3. But like you said, it's everything you expected from the trailers, right? It's that kind of a gritty, kind of street level Star Wars. Got the same vibes as Rogue One, kind of all into that universe. I like that it's a little bit more character focused and not as heavy on the action. Look, you're still gonna get your action scenes. Like
oh yeah,
episode 3 is pretty much all action. It was, but there's still like these really good character moments, and the acting's really great, and the music is good. Everything about the show is really really good, and I'm enjoying it so far.
yeah, it's really well done. I know they did a lot more practical effects,
Mhm.
real locations, and you can definitely tell. I mean, it comes out. Um, it just seems more like a lived-in type of a real world. So no, I'm enjoying it so far. Like I said, the pacing is slow, too slow. You're not too slow. Oh, too slow for some folks, but slower than I would say for the other shows. But I'm into it because the performances and I think the storytelling and the characters I find compelling. So yeah, man, I'm digging it.
Yeah, me too. And like it seems they had a clear vision of what they want this show to be, and it doesn't seem like it's going to tie into like the greater universe. Like I'm not expecting Luke or Ahsoka to walk in at any moment. It's just this is the world it is. This is the story we're telling. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, and like I said, you know where it's going to go if they tie it right into Rogue One. I can
Hmm.
see that working just perfectly. Maybe that third season, bringing in a couple characters to kind of slowly start building the beginning of the movie. But I like it, man. I'm digging it.
Yeah, let's jump over to one more Star Wars topic, and I just wanted to throw this out there really quick. James Earl Jones is officially retiring from doing the voice of Darth Vader. And I think that's a pretty big thing because if you listen to him recently, the times he's played Vader doesn't fully sound great. I didn't think he sounded too great in Rogue One, but they said they're going to still kind of use clips of his voice and kind of voiceover effects to keep his voice in Star Wars. So I guess it's going to be his voice, but he won't officially be in the booth.
Yeah, and I thought that for the Obi-Wan series, when his voice, I think didn't they use some of those techniques that they used even
Yeah.
with Mark Hamill's voice for the
Yep.
Mandalorian for Boba Fett. So it wasn't as jarring though. The Luke Skywalker voice was more jarring in Boba Fett. It was actually the voice in Obi-Wan of James Earl Jones that they put together, I thought sounded like the old movies. It was spot
Yeah.
on. So yeah, man, he's done it for a long time. He's a legend. I'm glad that he's still given that permission to go with it and
Yeah.
keep that going. So I'm excited. That voice of Vader is not going to go untouched. But yeah, I mean, it's everyone gets older, man. Everyone moves on
Yeah.
at one point.
You know,
So
it's
wish
especially
him a
with these
break.
especially with these legacy characters from Star Wars, right? You know, a lot of them are getting up there in age. I'm sure he doesn't want to. He might not even want to do it anymore. I'm sure getting him in the booth is probably a pain, and he doesn't really want to deal with it. So this is let him be sent off, but still kind of keep his legacy intact by using the VFX and whatever they have to do.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I agree with you.
Yeah, so let's switch over to Marvel, and there's been multiple shows and a special, a bunch of news. So let's start where we kind of left off, every week. Let's talk a little She-Hulk. You're the Hulk guy. At this point, the show is completely over. So we're going to kind of recap what we thought as a whole. And we're definitely going to talk about the finale. So watch out for spoilers. We're probably going to lean into some of those because it's hard to talk about it without doing it. So
Yeah, it's going to be, especially that last episode.
yeah. So all right, let's jump right to the last episode, or maybe the last two. What have you thought, or what did you think?
Um, it's really bad when you're on a podcast and you don't have an opinion. I
mean,
do. I don't know how to
I
formulate it.
feel like the silence says everything.
No, I enjoyed the show. I did enjoy the show. I did not like it. Like it's getting beat up
Mhm.
by some people are online saying that they loved it, best show of the MCU. There's a lot of folks coming out saying the worst show of the MCU. It's very divisive.
Yeah,
Um,
it is. That's
very divisive. You either kind of love this or hate it. So I'm of course going to take the position of it's all right. No, there are parts of the show I really love, and there are parts of the show that I have a big problem with. I don't want to go back on my Hulk rant. I can, but I'm not going to. But
I feel it's coming up anyway.
well, dude, that was well. Well, here's the thing. It was a very anticlimactic introduction of his son. Would you agree
I
to
mean,
that?
it's literally just, oh, here he is. All right,
Yeah.
bye. One
All right.
quick
That's
pan
it.
shot to him, and let's be real, he doesn't even look that great in the shot,
No, looks
and he
terrible.
doesn't say anything. He doesn't move. It's just, I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay, great, awesome.
Which and so here's the deal too. Um, what I'm more interested in, I know I'm dodging your question. This is making for awful content, but here's what's been going through my mind the whole, especially watching that last episode and that reveal, and not just the reveal of Hulk's son, but like everything with the whole meta episode and the Kevin robot and all that
Yeah.
stuff and all the, and just throughout with like the trolls online and stuff like that. The problem, oh, you all right?
I have to plug
Okay.
my laptop in because it's gonna die. So
That's all right. Look, you better hurry because I'll go on a rant. Here's what I'm I don't say I'm concerned about because I don't worry about Disney's financials or Marvel's financials.
I think they're
But
doing just
here's
fine in that department.
yes, I'm not worried. But here is something that I did think when watching it. Are you going to alienate a large portion of your passionate fan base? And I say that because some of those trolls, unfortunately, are the same ones that go see those movies 5 or 6 or 7 times and
Yeah.
are super bad. And I would say don't look any further than what happened with some of the Star Wars blowback after
Mhm.
with the sequel trilogy. I think I found it funny. I thought like the little in jokes and the things like that and what, but and I understand you could say, well, we don't want those people as fans anyway. Okay, but there's a lot of people I feel like that may have just we're getting. It was funny. I just felt it went on a little too long to the point where it started to become almost antagonistic towards some of their audience. So I know they're making fun of a certain type of viewer, and I'm going to toe the line very carefully here because I don't want to rant or get
Yeah.
political or that. But you know what I'm saying. So you are you are sort of attacking a certain group of fans that are very vocal and very passionate Marvel fans and MCU fans. Um, and so that's really what I took away from it. I honestly, I'm old man, so I have no feeling either way. I thought it was funny. I didn't think it was groundbreaking. I thought it was true to the comic, which I enjoyed. It really was
Yeah.
breaking that third wall. I didn't have a problem with the Daredevil stuff like some people did. I thought it was just I thought he fit just fine for the tone of the show. I don't think it got too goofy. There were some things we could
Yeah,
break up.
that's what he is in this universe.
Yes, in this universe, that's why I'm sure when they do the Daredevil show, you're not gonna get the Netflix version, but you're gonna get a closer somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get the little quips and jokes and,
No,
kind of
so
stuff you got in this.
right, so some of the hyperbole online, they ruined the character. It's like, slow down. It's the show, and they said from the start was a sitcom, was a
Yeah.
comedy, and so they played it as such. Um, I just I don't know. I don't know, man. It's still the same stuff we've said week after week. Like this whole phase, I just don't. The rewatchability of this phase is not there like it was for the previous couple phases. Does that make sense? Like I have
Oh,
no
100
desire
oh,
to go back and
100%.
rewatch this stuff. So I know I'm dodging some of your questions. I didn't not like it. It was fine. It was just fine. But I do think going forward, if some of these movies don't hit like they think they're going to hit, are we going to start seeing some blowback on some of the theatrical releases? Now I know I think Black Panther will be Teflon because of everything surrounding it.
Oh, 100. That movie's making $1 billion in 3
Yeah.
weeks, no problem.
So I don't really think that's going to be the litmus test. Um, but after a couple of these shows, after Thor, after Doctor Strange, what is it? Ant-Man comes up next
Yeah,
after
Ant-Man's in
Black.
February.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. And so I don't know. I just the rewatchability, other than WandaVision, I did go
Yeah.
back. I watched that. It's it's fine. I understand what they're trying to say with some of the stuff, but I listen, man. We grew up in this world a long time, and I know I'm dancing around the line, but there's a lot of fanboys out there that you don't want to upset. Not to be afraid of them, but that's part of your audience. And I feel like,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying you have to. You can tease them, you can mock them because it's funny. I think it's funny. I'm not gonna lie, but if you keep doing that, is there going to be a fallout as far as people kind of going forward? So I think it's a line. Yeah, you can pop a joke here and there, and I felt like that it didn't take itself too seriously, but I feel like that could down the line you start building this you know relationship that's a little some animosity similar to what Star Wars went through in the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, for me, it's like Marvel puts out so much content where it's if you don't like one, odds are you might like the next one, or you would like something before that. Like look, for me, I didn't like the She-Hulk finale. I understood it, but for me, I wasn't laughing at any
Hmm.
point. So to me, it's like it just went on, and then when we get back into the actual episode, all like conflict has been resolved and everything's just over,
Yeah.
which
Well,
I found a little weird.
that was the worst part about it. It was like, okay, we ran out of time or budget. We're just, we're wrapped up. So there was no even, you know, 3-minute interlude to solve the conflict the way she wanted to. And you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I
Yeah.
feel you there.
And like you said, like the rewatchability, like I don't think I'll be going back and watching really any episodes of She-Hulk. I don't see a reason for me to go back and ever watch this. And then I'm gonna kind of segue this into our next topic, which is Werewolf by Night. I've already watched Werewolf by Night twice. I think
Yeah,
it's great. I love it.
I've watched it 3 times. Fantastic. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
right for me right now in phase, what are we, 4? Right? That's right.
Hmm.
I think this is the best thing they've done. Maybe
Yeah,
if you want to
it's
say
my
Spider-Man
favorite.
No Way Home, but
Yeah, that's kind of its own little island there. No, dude, I loved it. I'm right there with you. I watched it 3 times. It was
yeah,
perfect.
I've
They
watched
need
it
more of
twice. It
these.
is tremendous.
Yeah, it's
Like
so
I didn't
good.
really know what to expect going in, and it hit on everything I wanted. The action is great, the music is great, the way it's shot is tremendous. Like even the one,
Hmm.
and we're gonna get into spoilers for Werewolf by Night now, people. That one scene where like he's going through that hall, kind of just ripping apart the guards. It's just that one pan shot with the blood splattering on the camera. It was fantastic.
I I agree. I I watched it 3 times. I don't even want them to bring, like I said, spoilers. I don't even want them to bring like him or Man Thing or anyone else into the MCU other than just once a year. Let's make a holiday special. Give me a Halloween
Yeah,
special every year.
keep it like its own little separate thing.
Perfect timing. Like was perfect. Not too long, not too short. Was perfect. Rewatched it several times. Enjoyed it. Loved it. You know, you had the horror aspect, you had the humor in it, you had the action, you had the I mean, it was violent as all could be for a Marvel
It
thing
really
too.
was.
You
I
know,
think that's
reminded me
probably why they had to shoot it in black and white.
yeah, because it reminded me almost of some of the dark, you know, violent stuff you saw in Doctor Strange. It's the only thing I think that was kind of close to it.
Mhm.
But I loved it, man. I absolutely love it. And it kind of snuck up and I don't see a lot of buzz online for it as you know, it's almost like the negativity is where all the action's at. Dude, I love this.
Yeah,
I
it's
loved it.
like I said, it's hands down my favorite thing of this phase. Like, like I said, it's probably one A and 1B with Spider-Man No Way Home, but like you said, it kinda came out of nowhere. I almost forgot it was releasing, honestly, because it was the week of New York Comic Con. It was that Friday it released, so, I was kinda busy running around, and I was like, "Oh, you know what? Let me watch Werewolf by Night," and, wow, was I pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, no, yeah, man, I loved it. Like I said, I watched it myself. I watched it again, and I watched it with my wife because I thought she'd like it too. She thought it was all right. She thought it was a little weird, and she didn't get it, but I loved it. To me, it was perfect. And like I said, that rewatchability. That's the only thing
Mhm.
I've watched other than Spider-Man, which is kind of like I said, its own thing anyway. But it's the only thing I've watched a second time. But I loved it, dude. Like I love the little one-off specials. Like if you could, all right, let's say one-off. I would almost, I'm almost inclined to want to get like a 3 episode MCU Disney Plus show. You know,
Mhm.
3 hour and 10 minute or hour segments like this. I'd
Yeah,
rather
it
have
would be great.
that than and make it one long story. Like it would be perfect. Like it was so good.
And look, what this did was I know we have the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special coming up. I'm even more excited for that now because of what Werewolf by Night did.
Yeah, I agree with you. I said the same thing. It's all right. This is cool. Like if they could start pumping these out, you know, and they can theme it. They pick around whatever holiday, whatever you know season they want to drop it, and see what character fits it.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm all in. Give me a one off. I think it's great. You know, or every 2 years put a special out. You know, I read a couple of the feedback how they want to do it and kind of have it like those old TV specials, which when we were kids were fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, you know, you'd look forward to every year. And I could totally see myself like watching this every Halloween.
Yeah. The only thing I don't know where it kind of fits into the greater MCU, but I don't have a problem with that because I loved it so much.
Yeah, and it did, you know, it did get me wondering, you know, we get some Marvel news. I know we're gonna talk a little quick about the Blade news that came out recently. We did get Moon Knight. So when you start thinking, you know, there's buzz with, you know, of Ghost Rider. If they start working towards Midnight Suns, I mean, they introduced Elsa
Yeah.
Bloodstone in this, so I could see them working towards something like that as a big movie. But yeah, I'm with you, man. If it just didn't connect and was his own thing, I could be just fine with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, you brought up the Blade news. He obviously the movie lost its director. Now they kind of just shelved it and it's on hold. And I know they reshuffled a bunch of release dates because of this. It seems like this movie's going through a little bit of a tough spot. It was also heavily rumored that Mahershala Ali was on set for Werewolf by Night and even filmed scenes, but they had to get rid of them because they don't know what's going on with the Blade movie. So it seems like this is kind of affecting a lot of stuff. So do you think this is a big deal? Do you think they figure this out? Where does this go?
I don't think it's a big deal yet because he has not walked away from the project.
Yeah.
And when they had said that he has final approval on the script, well, if he's not happy with the script and he's got that, then I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I think
Yeah.
if it's they want to get it right and have that vision, then I'm okay with it. Like I said, delay these things until you get it right. Do not rush them before you know just to meet a deadline. Um, so I don't know. I think it'll. I think it'll be fine. I don't. They have so much, like you said before. There's so much content coming. It's not like, oh, what are we gonna do in the meantime, dude? There's so much content coming. They'll be just
Yeah,
fine.
I mean, next month is Black Panther. The month after that is Secret Invasion, and then 2 months after that you have Ant-Man. So we're covered. And let's be real, in a couple months we won't even remember this movie got delayed.
Right. Right. Because there's so much coming down the line.
And look, if they're looking for a new director, I mean, Michael Giacchino should at least have his hat in the ring for what he did with Werewolf by Night. I know it was
Yeah.
his directorial debut and it was only an hour special, but I'd love to see his spin on a Blade movie.
Yeah. That'd be cool, man. Because it was just they just did such a good job. I dug that so much. Yeah. Yeah. I'd be on board with that, man.
Yeah, look, there's two other kind of well, there's a couple Marvel stories. Let's jump into the biggest one that we haven't talked about, and I know this was a while ago, but Hugh Jackman is officially coming back for Deadpool 3. I don't know if this is a surprise at this point. I feel like it was kind of expected, but I still got extremely amped when I saw the little video.
Yeah, man. We were talking about some of the stuff and kind of how meta that last episode of She-Hulk was, and it's
Yeah,
almost like how meta is Deadpool 3 going to be with what Deadpool 3 going to be with some of the stuff, like
it's
just
gonna
the
be
jokes.
wild. It's
Yeah,
gonna be insane.
and the fact that now they have Hugh Jackman in there, and you've seen all the videos with him and Ryan Reynolds, they'll be playing off. I mean, it's going to be ridiculous. Um, yeah, man, I can't wait. I'm excited for that movie anyway because it's just like Spider-Man. It's gonna be its own thing. You know,
Yeah.
even when they're trying to tie it in, it's gonna be the whole thing. And but yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great.
All right, so let me throw one question at you:
Hmm.
brown and yellow or blue and yellow suit? Because they're gonna put him in one of them.
So I think you got to go blue and yellow, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm thinking when Deadpool got introduced in X Force, wasn't he wearing blue and yellow?
Yes.
Yeah, so I would go there. I'm
Yeah,
a fan of brown and yellow. I'm
I
always partial to brown and yellow, even though I love the animated series. I'm partial brown and yellow, but I'm trying to think that era when that was like the Jim Lee X-Men era. So
Yeah, I also think they're going to do blue and yellow just because it's going to tie into the stuff that they're releasing. Like we know animated series is coming back, so that's going to be him in the blue and yellow. So I think they're just going to keep it there. But maybe he'll have multiple costumes. Maybe he'll wear them all at one point just because this is his last
yeah,
go around.
yeah, and I think they'll have fun with it. Um, so yeah, it's that movie's just gonna be a blast. Like I said, that would be a departure no matter what. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I can't wait. Let's talk about two other little stories that popped up. As of today, Harrison Ford is officially cast as General Ross for the Thunderbolts movie, which means Harrison Ford is most likely going to become Red Hulk at some point.
That's pretty funny.
Um, are you surprised they recast the role? Do you think they should have waited? Do you think they should have cut him out? Or
I thought for a while they were gonna go and just kind of, you know, did they have someone cast as his daughter yet or something like that? They were saying.
I'm not sure.
Because I thought they were going to go that route and just have. But it's funny. I think it's the third. You see the Expendables 3.
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay. But the one thing I enjoyed about that movie was Harrison Ford,
Yeah, me too.
and if I could see him being like that type of character in this as Thunderbolt Raw, and I think it'll be just fine.
I'm going
I
to be
think.
honest. I'm surprised they were even able to get Harrison Ford at this point. Like, does he really want to be doing a mocap for a Red Hulk and all this stuff? It seems a little wild for where he's at in his career.
Yeah, you got to wonder. He'll probably just digitally slap his face. He probably has no idea what he's signed on for.
No, they probably told him you're just going to sit in a chair. We're going to put some dots on your face, and we'll take care of the rest. All you got to do is talk.
Yeah, it'd be pretty funny. And who knows how much Red Hulk shows up in it? It could just be, a scene there. There it could be more about
I
the
mean,
other
look, for
characters.
all we know, Red Hulk isn't even in this movie. It's
Yeah,
just been the rumor, and ever since Thunderbolt Ross popped up on screen, we've all just been waiting for it to get to that point, right? So
yeah.
I
I'm
think we're
actually
all just
shocked.
kind of assuming, but it may not even happen.
Yeah, I'm shocked it actually took this long. To be honest with you, that's
Yeah,
that's
me too.
honestly more of a shock to me. So
All right, so let's throw in the last Marvel story, and Borat is Mephisto. Sacha Baron Cohen supposedly has been cast as Mephisto, so Borat is in the MCU. What do we think?
so is that officially confirmed?
It's not officially confirmed, but it's
Okay.
being heavily reported by multiple sites.
Okay. I
So it
like it.
seems like one of those that casting could come out any day because I think it's for the Ironheart TV show, and with her popping up in Black Panther, they're going to want to kind of push information about her show right after that and ride the hype. So this could be announced in the next 30 days.
Dig it, man. He's got range.
He
He
does.
can go into, he's like a chameleon into his character with his characters, and I don't just mean like Borat and Ali G and stuff like that. I mean like he's just some of his roles where in recent movies. What the heck was he just in? I didn't even know it was him. It's like a serious movie too, and I can't remember what.
Yeah, he
I gotta
he did
look at it.
something last year. Wasn't he nominated for
Yeah, like
like best supporting
he.
actor or
Hold
something?
on, when I was watching it, I was like, "That's not
Because I'm
him,"
pretty
and it
sure I
was.
remember reading that.
Yeah, like he's a freaking chameleon with this stuff. So I mean, whoever you cast is going to be under makeup anyway.
Yeah,
So
or some kind of CGI or mocap.
right, so you could have got really anybody, but he'll go into. But no, he's God, what movie was it? No, I didn't. I don't know. He
I
got a
think this
Goldblum.
just keeps going with Marvel, kind of bringing in those. I don't want to say A-list necessarily because I don't know if he's an A-list actor, but top tier names that and recognize into the Marvel universe. Like
Got
it's
it.
only a matter of time until Al Pacino is somebody, Apocalypse in the X-Men movie or something like.
Yeah, The Spy. It was that Netflix show that I remember now. It was
Mhm.
a series, but yeah, I didn't even recognize him on there. So,
Yeah.
jeez, oh my god.
Uh-oh. Everything okay over
Thanks,
there?
buddy. No, my kid. It's not my kid. Just scared the daylights out of me. Came down in his Halloween costume, dressed like a skeleton, like a Minecraft
Uh-oh.
skeleton, but it's creepy looking. So he's got a big square head. It was like, oh god.
Not what you
Sitting
want
there.
popping in unexpected.
No, I'm like peeking around the corner. I hear the door rustling. I'm trying to think of who Borat's playing, and I got a skeleton looking at me. God. So no, I'm good. I'm good. But man, it took something out of me.
All right, so that's it for Marvel. Unfortunately, we have to get into one DC story, and it's not the best. um, Ezra Miller has apparently shot reshoots for The Flash. I
Stop it.
know
I don't believe it. I
people
don't
were very
believe it.
upset by this because of all the controversy, and there's even more of that stuff. But we'll leave that alone because I don't want to get into the legal stuff.
What is
But
he reshooting?
I, I don't. I mean, at this point, the movie's been done for. It was supposed to release 2 years ago. At this
I mean,
point,
what are we
like, what
doing?
else do we have to fix?
Are they? Would you put it past them to keep doing reshoots just to make it so astronomically the budget out of control, just so they can table it like they did Batgirl?
See, I don't
Like,
think that's it. I think the reshoots more have to do with like the overall game plan for what DC's gonna do. Um, uh-oh, did we lose you? I think we've lost Will, ladies and gentlemen. Will, are you there? Can you hear
can you
us?
hear me? Can you hear
I
me?
can hear you. I can't see you.
It says that the browser has lost connection to my cameras, but I am out here in cyberspace.
Oh, no,
Keep
at
going. You're
least we
talking about.
have the voice.
Yeah, I'll be back. I'm going to start this camera up. There we go.
There he
Sorry.
is. There he is. We told you this
Ezra
was going to be
Miller,
an
man.
interesting episode, ladies and
Ezra
gentlemen.
Miller's stories, they always set me off. So, yeah.
Yeah, like I was saying, I think this just has to do with the greater overall plan of what DC wants to do. Maybe if this includes bringing Ben Affleck back or something, or maybe kind of he has to fill scenes, shoot scenes with somebody that wasn't originally on set. I think that's what these are.
We'll see. I'm putting that
Yeah,
all behind us, man. I'm going to stay positive. Got a big
I
weekend
hope
coming
so.
up next
We
weekend.
don't want to dwell on DC too much. We've done that many episodes.
No, I'm not going negative because I'm excited for Black Adam. I'm
Yeah,
excited for some of the rumors, Black Adam. So we'll see. We'll talk more in a week or so. But yeah, well, I'm not
yeah.
gonna go negative.
Next week that movie comes out, right? I think it's next Thursday. So
21st. Yep, Thursday night.
uh,
So yeah.
once we both get to see that movie, keep your eyes out for a bonus episode.
Oh, it's gonna be tremendous. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna be
Let's
super.
get into the last movie story, and this is something kind of just random, and something that dropped. I think it was the Thursday of New York Comic Con. We finally have the trailer for the Super Mario Bros. Movie, the animated movie starring Chris Pratt, Jack Black. What did you think of this?
Animation looks tremendous. Animation looks absolutely tremendous. Oh, now you're freezing. Am I
Yeah,
freezing on your end?
the quality looks great.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think the tone. I think the animation
Oh
looks
no,
tremendous. Who's frozen? Are you? Am I frozen on your screen?
You are.
Still? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
But I'm frozen.
No, now you're good.
All right, jeez. No, because you got frozen. This is. Oh, thank God we're not live streaming. Yeah, no, animation looks great. I think the tone looks great from the trailer. That's what I got to say about that. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
you don't want
No,
to touch the Chris Pratt
I'm not
Mario
touching
voice.
it. I'm not touching it. It's been done. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. I'm not taking the bait, man.
Yeah, the movie looks better than I thought it was going to be, so we'll kind of just leave it at that.
I will say this. It was like one line. So let me hear a little more, and then I will tell you how I feel for what it's worth.
Yeah, let it play out in the movie, and let me see the overall quality of the movie, and then we can come back to this and talk about if it was a bad choice or not. Because
Yeah,
right
it's
now, I don't want to judge it like you
but
said off of one. I think it was two lines.
I don't want to judge it either, but I also don't know if I could do a 90-minute movie, with him talking like he does in the video game. That might get irritating after a while.
Yeah, that would be a little annoying after a
Yeah,
while.
it would be really cool. Be like, yeah, Mario, okay. And then, like, an hour and a half into the movie, you're just like, oh my God, shut up. Step on him, Bowser. Squash that
But
little
well,
plumber. So,
when you think about it, we've never really heard Mario speak for more than like a couple sentences or little quips. There's really
right,
been no long form dialogue with Mario. So
right. I don't know if you want long form dialogue. So that'll be interesting. Let's see if we can find the script if it leaked online, and we can maybe do Mario voices with it reading the script as what's written and see how that sounds. Maybe people will change their mind. I'm not saying that
that could be
Chris
tremendous. We could run.
run lines on it. Yeah, I'm not saying Chris Pratt was the best
Yeah,
choice. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I just need to hear more.
yeah. Give it a chance, people. Give it a chance.
Let's go. Like it. I mean, yeah, give it a chance. Well, you don't even have to give it a chance. Just let's give it a little bit more time. Let's hear a little bit. But I do want to. We got to find that
Yeah.
script because I do want to run lines and that voice, like monologue. I can see how long it takes before
If
people just want to stick pencils in their ears.
if anybody out there has a leaked copy of the script for the Super Mario Bros. Movie, please shoot it to us at Twitter or email it to the podcast, and we will live recite it in the voices of all the characters, including Princess Peach and everybody else.
And then we'll allow y'all to vote and see if that's what you want. 90 minutes of that. So
I mean, that could be our big break.
yeah, yeah, that could be. That'd be fun. All right, man. We got. Like I said, we'll talk Black Adam um, coming on up. I don't want to. I don't want to touch it right now.
Yeah, we'll leave that alone until we've seen the movie, and that way everybody has a chance to see it, and we don't spoil anything.
Yeah, we've
Let's
all
jump into
heard the
toys.
news. For those of you out there, we've heard the news. We're just gonna get to it next. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna pretend it doesn't exist because I've been I've
Mm-hmm.
been burnt before on this. So
Been burned, and I don't want to freak out, so we'll just talk about it next week. Let's talk about toys. I think it's better if you just list the toys, like monotone, and just be like, read them off. They do thumbs up, thumbs down. I mean, I
yeah,
mean,
first one, Black Series Mando Ahsoka Grogu Amazon set. Thumbs down. Didn't need
mm-mm,
it.
no.
What else? More Star Wars. More Star Wars holiday releases. Just in case you didn't have enough and you need a stormtrooper that looks like a gingerbread man.
Mm,
More thumbs down.
mm-hmm. That Wookiees
This is an
destroying.
interesting one because this is one that we were kind of both excited for. Starting lineup has officially released.
Mm.
Any interest in this line?
Dude, they're expensive.
Yeah, it's like $60, $50 a figure.
They're super expensive. I mean, you got to pay those athletes because they need the money. But
Yeah, LeBron's not
too
making enough
expensive.
per year.
No, no Knicks, and too expensive.
Yeah, you give me an RJ Barrett or maybe a throwback like Patrick Ewing. That's something I'm buying.
Yeah, $60, man. That's steep.
Yeah, I don't think this line is going to have a lot of success if I'm being honest.
No,
I see this
I
getting
just
canned pretty quickly.
yep. which might be good to collect. It'll be one of those shorter ways like we're talking about.
Yeah, and then, maybe the production will be so low in 10 years, all these figures will be worth $1,000 a piece because nobody has them.
Let me tell you something, man. I got a crate in the other room of the old starting lineups. They're not worth anything. If those aren't worth anything, these aren't going to be worth anything.
Dude, I'm sitting on a couple hundred McFarlane figures, and those are worthless, talking about the sports figures,
The
so
sports ones, yeah. I know. So yeah, you just you look historically where the retro prices are on some of those figures. If the retro prices aren't there, I don't see this, getting where it needs to go.
yeah. So I had mentioned McFarlane, let's jump over to them, as always, they're doing awesome stuff with DC, and did you get a chance to see the Batmo Beast monster truck that they announced?
So yes, um, looks great. Um, I just don't have a desire to grab it.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah,
It's something, like you said, looks cool. I don't need that on the shelf at all.
but I will say this: the Dark Knight's Metal Cycle Bat Cycle came out
Mhm.
last year and a half. I had no desire to until I found it discounted. But putting the Batman with the sickle on that thing, it is one of my best. It's one of the best Halloween decorations to have. It's tremendous.
Oh, yeah, I can
So
imagine.
oh, it's so good. It's so good. I gotta go grab that. But that's tremendous. But yeah, no, it looks. I mean, great stuff. They put out the 5 pack as well, right? The Bat Family 5 pack, which are repaints of I think the three Jokers
Yeah, from
original
the,
releases.
yeah, we got that Batman animated series 4-pack. That was I believe it was a Walmart exclusive, if I'm correct?
That was a Walmart exclusive because they actually had Bullock in that one. So I remember seeing him
Yeah.
in that one. They got that one. They had the 4 pack Amazon series, and they had the 5 pack on Amazon. That was Walmart. Amazon had the 5 pack of the Bat Family, which were repaints from
Mhm.
Three Jokers, which is a really cool Batman sculpt. It didn't sell, and it's really cool now because they have it in the blue cow and stuff. But I can't justify buying a 5 pack. If that they sold that blue variant, I would definitely pick that Batman figure up because I love that mold.
Yeah, that's a good looking one. Like you said, it doesn't warrant a 5-pack. If you could pick that up, maybe just kinda on the side, maybe from somebody selling it on eBay just separately, that would be a
Yeah,
good look.
that's all I'm looking to do. What else we got out there?
Ha have So we got the Obi-Wan Vader concept Black Series figures finally released on Disney's website. These were announced, I want to say, in San Diego Comic-Con. I think they were revealed. So it's kind of been a long time coming.
Yeah, how quick do they sell out?
I don't know. I bought mine fairly easily. It was pretty easy. It took me a couple minutes, and then nothing. I don't know. I haven't gone back to check, but I haven't seen if it's sold out yet.
Gotcha.
There was also one more McFarlane story. We finally got the Mongol figure and the Frankenstein kind of deluxe figures. I know you were waiting for Mongol for a long time. Did you pick that up?
Yeah, pre-ordered that because I'm working on my Superman shelf, so I'm trying to limit myself with McFarlane's. Like I said, a couple Batman. I picked up like Etrigan, Robin, any Tim Drake Robin I picked up. I just got
Mhm.
the Amazon, the red ones coming. I think it just got delivered today. I picked that up. They're doing. It says it's the first in the line from the Superman villains comic, so I'm interested to see who else they're going to make from the line.
Yeah,
Um, I'd love to get a Lex Luthor in just like a business suit. I think that'd be cool. I don't see it
that
happening.
would be
Maybe
a
they'll do
cool
it
one.
exclusive. I have the one in the Superman power suit. I have the one in the standard Lex suit. Um, but like they've released Zod, they've released Lobo, they've released um, Bizarro, Superboy Prime. So I'm trying to think who they've got in that villains that they haven't released yet. And
Yeah,
there's a couple choices. So I'm interested to see who comes after Mongol. But yeah, no, I picked that Mongol figure up. Those mega figs are pretty cool. For the most part, they can stand pretty well. But yeah, no, that's going on my Superman shelf.
Yeah, both these figures look awesome. Even the Frankenstein looked really cool. I passed on both of these just because I'm not actively collecting McFarlane or either of these lines. So, but they look awesome. I
Yeah.
did want to throw one more McFarlane thing, and it's kind of been a rumor, and I don't know if you had a chance to see this, that they're releasing a 1989 Batwing from the Keaton movie,
Yeah, I saw that,
and
and I
apparently it's going to be like $250. Um, that's something I might be in on.
yeah, I'm excited to see this thing. I've heard about it. I know there was rumors that they've got the Keaton figure from the Flash movie. There was like a variant unmasked version, and that, but
Yeah.
there was a rumor that they were going to do some '89 Batman figures. So we'll see. I don't, like I said, it would be interesting to see that. Um, I mean, every darn wave they've got another Batman variant.
There's a
So
billion
it's
of them.
there's a billion, and it's like you just can't phone. You get one with a good head sculpt, and then the body stinks, or you get one with the right suit you want, but the head sculpt's terrible, or it doesn't hold the.
Yeah.
So that's been the biggest thing with McFarlane. It's like they almost have it just perfect and whatever. I mean, it's but like I said, they're still $20 a figure, other than the mega figs. So in an age when everything's going up,
Which is honestly
they have
impressive.
stayed the same. Yeah, they've stayed there. But yeah, man, it's there's been a couple new figures that Robin just got released. Tim Drake Robin, the gold label Shazam. I'm excited to finally get my hands on. I finally tracked one of those down.
Mhm.
That was a Walmart exclusive. They've got to stop with the Walmart exclusive. Um, Walmart
Walmart's the
exclusive.
worst.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
because you're gonna get it. It's gonna be beat to whatever if you even get it. So
Yeah,
it's
because it's
yeah,
shipped in a bag, it's not shipped in a box.
yeah. So I'm gonna hold on one second. All right, can you hear me?
I
Can you
can
hear
hear you.
me?
Can you hear me?
All right, perfect. Yeah, my camera
I
is
can hear
so
you.
funky. All right, good. My camera is so funky. It really is. Like I don't know what else. It keeps. I'm watching myself on screen. Looks like Ace Ventura when he's like in slow motion walking through it, and it keeps kicking me off, saying it's connected, disconnected. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
that's weird. So, look, so ladies and gentlemen, for the rest of this episode, Will's camera may be in and out. I think we'll just leave it there.
yeah, I'm gonna try to get back in here. It looks good now, but as soon as I kick it on, I start slowing down.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Live troubleshooting, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you get here on various stages of growth.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. So anyway, there might be a sign from God to speed this sucker up.
Yeah. Look, we also missed the week of PulseCon, so there was a ton of stuff that Hasbro announced. We can kind of just cherry pick what we want to talk about here. Anything that stood out to you from PulseCon in general?
Most of it got leaked ahead of time, so no.
Yeah.
The um, the Indiana Jones 6-inch figures. That was kind of the first time we saw those. They had like the retro headpiece, a Staff of Ra headpiece. They had the retro line figures, which are pretty cool. But everything else, the Star Wars stuff was kind of blah. The G.I. Joe had already pretty much been leaked prior. You got to see some renders. The problem with the G.I. Joe stuff, man, is I still have my stuff on pre-order from last October.
Yeah, and they just keep throwing more pieces at you just to get more money, and then you don't have
Yeah,
anything to show for it.
they're showing you repaints of characters that I've never got the original versions from, and it's been over a year. So it's starting to become frustrating. So but yeah, man, some cool stuff, but a lot that's all got leaked. Like, I think it was kind of anticlimactic by the time they actually got to show it to you.
Yeah, I mean, look, for me, the standout was the Indiana Jones pieces. I think that line is tremendous. I pre-ordered the first two that went up. I'm excited to get the rest of those. That was the standout. Like you said, Star Wars was pretty underwhelming, and I know this kind of seems like a cycle. We've talked about it at San Diego Comic-Con, where it was kind of not what everybody wanted, and it just kind of seemed like more of the same from Star Wars. um,
Yeah.
the one that excited me the most was that they finally announced they're making Clone Trooper Black Series helmets, because that's been a long time thing that people have wanted. So, but on the actual figure front, really nothing that stood out.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Not bad, necessarily bad, but nothing that really stood out. I think the coolest thing I saw was, it wasn't even a render, but it was a leak that they're going to do the Vader with the
Yeah,
helmet off. But like, once again, like, So my question is, the picture they showed was the old actor, the, showing his face, but then with all
Yeah,
the
from
stuff
Return of the
back and forth.
Jedi.
Yeah, and was it like Sebastian Shaw or something? No, that's an X-Men. I'm gonna look up this guy's name. That's not fair. I gotta give him props. But no, I almost said Sebastian Stan. Like that's not it. But yeah. So like, are they gonna use his likeness? Are they gonna use Hayden Christensen's likeness?
Yeah, it'll
Like
be interesting. Like you said, they showed the original actor from Return of the Jedi, so I would, from what
Sebastian
I would
Shaw.
assume
I
that's
was
the
right.
next scope they're
I
going to use.
was right.
Yeah, don't double guess yourself. We kind of know what's going on here.
Well, no, the problem is because, I've been reading some X-Men comics lately. I'm just totally mucking it up. But no, I was right. Okay. Oh, I'm good. All right. So I'm
Yeah, I mean,
playing.
Marvel Legends.
Full disclosure, I'm trying to stand up Shira, which is apparently a feat that only a god could do because I can't get her to stand without falling forward. So
Some of those figures are such a pain to stand, and you just get frustrated with them after a while.
really, and every time I get to stand, I go to put it on a shelf and it goes flying forward. And we know that ends poorly because I'll just take it in the face every single time as they fall forward on me. I don't know. I'll figure it out
Look,
later.
For Marvel Legends, I don't really think anything was overly amazing. There was there was that Daredevil set that was pretty cool.
Mhm.
They had the Iron Man exclusive that came with like the giant cannon, like from the animated show, a cool piece, but nothing really crazy.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Couple cool things. That Spider-Man one they teased with the Carnage set looks cool, but you didn't really see what's coming in that retro box. That's
Yeah,
we mentioned before. That's going to replace the X-Men. So yeah, we'll see. That
yeah.
cut out
So look,
again.
that's really
Okay.
it for toys. We kind of ran through it, like we said. Oh,
Nope. Oh, I'm,
can you
I'm
hear
all
me?
over the
Are we
place.
good?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh no, I can hear you.
I might just. All right. What are we moving on to next? I'm going to try to.
Comics and books. Comics and
I'm
books.
just going to start
So
freezing like
we did have
this
a little
and
bit of
just stay
news.
on camera. And
It's like
just
we don't know if he's actually here or not.
right, right. I'm just gonna start freezing. And yeah. So comics and reading, freaking internet.
Yeah, comics and books, comics and reading, whatever you want to do. New York Comic Con, they did announce some Superman news, kind of a retooling of the
Yes,
entire Superman line. I know you're a big Superman guy, and you're still reading the lines. What do you think about this?
I'm excited. I'm pumped up. I'm almost caught back up. Um, I got that DC Infinite Ultra, which gets you the comics almost like 30 days after they're out. They'll drop them on the app now, so I'm pretty much caught up. Just finished the War World saga. Reading the John Kent series now. I'm halfway through that, so I'm excited because they're going to bring in a bunch of characters from the Superman universe. They're going to bring back um, Kal-El is the main Superman in the Superman comic. Um, sorry, in with action, and they're going to have family. They're going to have Steel. They're going to have they're bringing everyone in. They're bringing in the twins that are from the World um, series that he rescues. So
Mhm.
I'm excited. They're going to have Supergirl and stuff, and they said Power Girl is going to make an appearance. So I'm excited. One of the things, and I know we're running out of time because my internet's garbage, but um, one of the things that I remember, so I stay positive, but with this DC merger with Discovery, is I remember one somewhere saying that they were going to try to put Superman front and center with this and go back to
Yeah.
putting him at the forefront. So I think this is a step in the right direction because it's not been for a while. It had a really good run with the Rebirth run. I thought was amazing. It had some missteps along the way. This latest run in Action Comics has been tremendous.
Mhm.
I've loved it. So it's Josh Williamson involved. Philip Kennedy's involved. So I think it will be. I think we'll be okay. I think going forward, I'm excited. As a Superman fan, I'm excited.
Yeah, look, I've been out of comics for a while. Kind of just took, like I said, took a break from reading everything. But this seems like it's going to be a good kind of jumping off point for me to maybe get back into reading Superman. So this is something I definitely want to check out.
Yeah, and I think it's all going to kick off in January. They're going to have a couple special issues to kick it in, and like I said, they've really wrapped up an epic story with what Superman was doing off world. They still have to wrap up the death of the Justice League, so they're going to have to bring him back, and they'll have to rectify that, and then you'll see where he's at and where John Kent's at, and kind of
Yeah.
go from there. So that's all still got to come down the line too, but. Yeah, man. I saw that news and I was jealous that you were there. I was like, oh man, I would have been front and center at that panel.
Yeah, look, there was more book news coming out of New York Comic Con, and there is a ton of Star Wars books coming out.
Yeah,
They announced a ton of novels, Dark Horse Comics lines. There is a ton of reading material if you're a Star Wars fan out there.
yeah, man. It's coming. It's overwhelming, and the timelines are all over the place. It's like they have the High Republic as its own thing, but there's stuff all over the place. From every era, every year. Every character you can think of. There's so much. I didn't want to touch upon
Yeah,
the comics because it's all over, and they've got the new. Didn't Dark Horse take back over one of the lines? So
yeah.
yeah, man, there is so much Star Wars media out there, content when it comes to books and comics. It's hard to keep all straight. Check out utini.com. That is a site if you are looking to read the comics or the books. That is the ultimate resource to figure out where to start.
Yeah, I might have to check them out because look, I kind of fell off the train of the High Republic, but it's something I want to get back on, and there's so much to read and just so much I've missed. So I kind of need that guide to break everything down.
Yeah, and they've got everything. And they you basically put in where you want to start, what you're interested in, they will point you in the right direction.
Yeah, look, so you had mentioned it earlier, DC Infinite Ultra, that you signed up for your new subscription. How are you liking it so far?
So far, so good because I was able to catch up, and I'm like 3.5, 4 weeks after an issue comes out. For as far behind as I am, it's not that terrible amount of time where I can catch up and be somewhat up to date on what's going on. So I've been digging it so far. I've been digging in, trying to catch up. With the death of the Justice League into Dark Crisis and into that. So I am playing catch up. So I
Yeah.
would give me 2 more weeks, 3 more weeks, and I think I'll actually be able to tell you what's going on in the DC universe on the podcast. Yeah, man, we'll see, but I'm digging it so far. I just at this point I wish they all would just go to a model where within a couple weeks it would be digital. And I
Yeah,
hate
it
that for
would
the
be
comic
nice.
shops, but it's just so hard. Like the comic shops around me are all dying, you go there, it's like there's no comics left. You'll get inundated with
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering and Pokemon cards, but there's no comics left. So, to actually go and get them, I have to travel, and it's inconvenient. That's why I fell out. So, unfortunately, where there be comic shops all over the place, it's a rarity now, and the digital is really the only way I can get my comics.
Yeah, it's also the most feasible right now because look, with all the different lines and stuff that you're going to read, finding space for 12 to 15 issues a week, whether it's Marvel, Star Wars, DC, even independent books that you're reading, it starts to stack up and it takes a lot of space.
Yeah, yeah, and it's so yeah, we'll see. I'm getting real close, man. I'm getting real close to be caught up to the status quo, and I have some thoughts. I've been saying that for the last 4 weeks on the whole line, so I want to catch up, and I will relay those thoughts once I do.
Yeah, so look, let's switch over to gaming. A couple gaming stories to touch upon. The first one, Invincible game apparently in the works. So it seems the Invincible IP is kind of going strong. There's still that rumored live action movie. We know season two, hopefully from Amazon, is going to come at some point, and now it seems like there's a game. So is this something you're interested in?
I am. I mean, Robert Kirkman's going to start rivaling Bill Gates soon, man. He's got good for him, man. But yeah, I am. It's kind of like the next step. Like they've totally spun out with The Walking Dead, with all the gaming and all the different apps
Yep.
and stuff. So the next step with his property, and now he's got his publishing company too, which is rumored to be maybe taking over some of the Hasbro properties in the comics. So yeah, I would say I'm excited. That first series was tremendous, Invincible. So I'm ready for that.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Like you said, the season 1 from Amazon was awesome. I cannot wait for season 2. If the live action rumors are true, I'll be in for that. So give me anything more, any more Invincible, I'll take.
Let's do it.
So switching over to another game that actually comes out, I think it's next week. I think it's next Thursday, maybe the same day Black Adam releases. Gotham Knights, a little controversy this week because they announced that even though the game's only coming out on next gen consoles, so Xbox One S and PS5, it's going to be locked at 30 frames per second, which really upset some people. And I saw a lot of backlash online about this.
Yeah, and it's funny because it seems like they basically threw the reason for it, and they threw the Xbox under the bus.
Yeah, that's
Um,
exactly what it was.
that's pretty much they said that no, PS5 would be able to handle it, PC would be able to handle it. It's with the Xbox Five. I don't. We'll see, man. We'll see. I haven't played the game yet, so I don't know if it's going to be one of those things where you'll get that blur, that nausea feeling because it's too slow.
Yeah.
I don't know how the game plays. If the game doesn't play, necessarily, need that. I do know with I will say this. So my last, and I know it's a different world, but with the last Batman game, that was Arkham Knight, and I know it's a
Arkham
different
Knight.
company, and I know this is the one that did Origins. Arkham Origins is made Gotham Knights. I know, I'm aware, but I do remember with driving the Batmobile so much.
Mhm.
That was kind of rough at 30
Yeah.
frames per
It,
second.
it, it was the worst part of that game.
Yeah, it was really rough. I'd be like nauseated when I'm done. But I don't remember playing the other ones with the fighting, which this looks more based on having those issues. It's frustrating if you got your 4K TV or whatever, and you've got your PS5 or your Xbox Series X. But I don't know if it's a deal breaker yet. I want to see how the game plays. I want to see the story, and we'll see. Time will tell. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, me too.
I'm excited. Yeah.
It's like you said. I feel like, look, is it unfortunate that it's not going to run, up to the specs of the systems that everybody has? Yeah, okay, it's a bummer, but let's see how the game plays. If it really doesn't affect what your takeaway is from the game, it's really not that big of a deal.
hmm And it's let's see how it plays. I may feel differently after I play. It's almost like I wish I could have played it and then this leaked out like later to see if I fit, because now I'm going to be looking for it. Now I'm
Yeah,
going to be
you're
looking
gonna
like, oh,
be
it's so
you're gonna be
blurry, it's
waiting for
jarring.
it to catch
Yeah,
up.
yeah. So now I'm going to be kind of like, oh, it's so laggy and stuff, and all. But it's just jarring and it's blurred, and I can't. But yeah, we'll see, man. I'm excited to play. So that one I'll be picking up Thursday night as well, and then that's going to be my next game I'll be diving deep in for the next couple weeks.
Yeah, it's gonna be Gotham Knights for a couple weeks, and then November 9th is God of War Ragnarok. So I'll be spending a ton of time for that.
Yep, yep, yep.
But you wanted to talk about another game, Scorn. Uh,
Oh yeah. Oh, so good.
is it?
And it maybe it was because I just saw watched the last Hellraiser that Hulu just put out. But
So on a side note, how is that movie? Because I haven't watched it yet. I heard it's pretty good though.
so we really should do we should do God, I don't want to touch these hot button topics, Um, we
It's
should
too late
do
in the
all
episode for that.
to say we should do a show talking about that in the latest Halloween, and you want to get some feedback, you would get it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was I did. I know a lot of people had some issues with it. I thought it was well done.
Mhm.
I thought that some of the changes worked and stuff. I thought it was a good start. It was definitely better than some of the trash sequels. Um,
Oh, there's some terrible ones out there.
Terrible. Those first two movies were the ones I think I got as far as three and like it's trash. And then I used to watch other ones as jokes. But no, it. I liked it. It was a departure. It was a little different. But I thought all in all, I'm looking forward if they kind of continue this on along with this universe. I'd be up
Okay.
for it. Yep.
All right, yeah, I definitely want to check it out because, like you said, those first the first two movies are pretty good, and I've always liked those. Like you said, some of the sequels are extremely bad, but it seemed like this one had some potential.
Yeah, and it did. I mean, I thought it was pretty well done.
But to get back to Scorn, please talk about the game now that we've gone on
Okay.
the Hellraiser
I'm
tangent.
sorry. Well, because it reminds me, if you took Hellraiser, you took let's say like the Aliens world slash Prometheus world,
Okay.
like a Tool music video. Like this game is a full on like it's like a body horror type puzzle game, like where you just it's crazy, man. I can't. It's just messed up. It's messed up. Whoever made it's messed up, but it's so like I couldn't put it like I couldn't stop playing it. It was just crazy because I'm like solving the puzzle like sticking your hand and like oh I can't be it, and then you're adding a body part on, removing another, and it's like it's this crazy organic. What you got to play it, man.
Yeah, I'm
It's
gonna have
just
to check it out. It
it's just
sounds
it's
insane.
crazy. Yeah, it's really trippy. But I totally got Hellraiser, Clive Barker, uh, Prometheus, like I said, type vibes. So it was different, man. I love those games that try to do a little something different.
Yeah.
Because so many, they follow a good formula, but they follow a formula, and it's like, they start out real good, but they get tired really quick. So,
Yeah, everything kind of blends together, all the
mhm.
third person action, first person shooters, all that stuff. So it's good when something kind of stands out from the crowd.
Yep, absolutely.
And lastly, Silent Hill. It has officially been announced. Even though we kind of knew it's been rumored for at this point it feels like at least 2 years, maybe even more, but Silent Hill is official.
Yeah, yeah. It's nothing's been kind of shown yet. But when did they announce they're officially show something?
I don't remember. I do think they said there's like an upcoming event that they're going to do for it, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, upcoming event announcements on some stuff, but I can't remember the date because I'm just
Yeah,
so
I don't remember the
prepared.
date.
Let me see if I can pull it up. But yeah, that's we were talking about this like stuff, and we knew it was coming. It was just we never got anything concrete. So, what's the matter with
Uh-oh.
you? That dude just uses the bathroom and leaves the door wide open. Okay, October 19th. So when is that?
Okay.
Is that like
So
that's in 2 days?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
2 days from now.
Wednesday we're getting news. There's a countdown on a website.
Perfect. That's all we need.
We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, and
Yep.
look, speaking of next week, that's the end of the show. We have officially made it through episode 24.
Yeah. I just I have decisions to make within the next day or two.
Well,
And
look, why don't we talk about those decisions here, and we can kind of,
no,
coast you through
I
this.
wanted to, but
Coast
I
you
don't
through
want
this.
to now.
Let's talk
It's
about, 'cause ladies and gentlemen, what Will is debating right now is very large He-Man purchases. Why don't
yeah,
you run down the list of things you're planning on hopefully
so
buying?
the two things that are on the horizon are the Eternia playset, which what do we say about 650 after shipping and
650
tax?
shipped.
650 shipped. Um, if you want the early bird figure, you got to make a choice by Wednesday.
Oh man,
Um,
time's ticking.
I think they are about 80%, maybe a little bit over. I haven't checked today, but they were last time I checked, they were at like about 80% funded. So it's gonna get funded.
Yeah, it's
That's not a
absolutely getting
debate.
funded.
It's probably even gonna maybe hit the first stretch goal, which I think is at 10,000.
Yeah.
It's just the whole. That's lot of money. Oh yeah, so 90%, man, and
Wow. So
90%.
so it's gonna happen
It
in the
needs
next 2 days.
it might happen tonight. It only needs 500 backers, and so needs 500 backers to hit 5,000. Needs 8,000 to make the first stretch goal, and then 10 to make the third and final stretch goal. And then
Mhm.
if you back it before Wednesday, or if you order by Wednesday, you get the early bird King Grayskull figure. But that's 650. That's
That's a ton of
650.
it's a ton of money.
It's
Like
3 feet by 4 feet. Now that's someone that I know it's a lot of money, but we've done HasLabs.
yeah. I mean it's
This idiot did a Thunder Tank and a Turtle Wagon. So I mean, it's not unheard of. The thing is, maybe just with all this we were talking about as the show started, where's the line? Like I don't. First of all, I don't know where I put the thing.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, 3 feet by 4 feet. It's taking up massive space.
I mean, it's going to be on the floor over there, and like nothing else is going to be able to happen. Yeah, like it's just you're not going to be able to walk in the back door. So the space is one thing. The other thing is it's a lot of money for something that. So Mattel also, I know we could put this under toy news, but I will throw it in for that. I saved it for this. Released a bunch of new He-Man figures coming and stuff, but they ended it after showing off Eternia, which they're going to make Snake Mountain and release that as a general release.
Yeah,
I have more of ties to Snake Mountain than I do Eternia. I never had
yeah.
Eternia as a kid. I never played with Eternia, so I don't know what I'm missing. I didn't even know it existed until years later. Like it just was not something at that point I was done. And so Castle Grayskull, absolutely. Stake Mountain, yes. Slime Pit, yes. There are certain play sets or vehicles that are iconic and I have this like attachment to. Um, Eternia, I don't. So I don't know. When we were talking about nostalgia as being a driving factor in this, I don't know if I'm nostalgic, for $650.
Yeah. Look, it's
It's you
six
know what I'm saying?
fifty is a ton of. If it was 400, maybe 450 fully shipped with tax and everything. I think that's a little bit more feasible, especially for something like you said that you don't have the ties to.
Mhm.
But 650 for something that, like you said, yeah, it's not your fate. You didn't even know it existed for a while. So
Yeah. I did I don't have an attachment to it. And
especially, I mean, let's throw the other one in there. We're going to talk about the Battle Cat at some point with the
right,
Mondo. That's another $500.
right. And that's the other piece. So that's coming up. So like my choices are now are to decide to do both, neither, or pick one over the other.
And look,
And
let's not forget. I mean, are you backing the Ghost Rider HasLab?
I,
Because that's
I
another
don't
one at the end of the month.
I don't think here's the thing. I laid out the money for the HasLab for the Transformers. I still don't
Mhm.
have Star Saber. I just laid out money for the His Tank. That's a year off.
Yeah.
So it's like I laid out money for the Mondo He-Man. That's 4 or 5 months out. So it's like to keep laying money out for things, and this thing's not going to ship until they think fall of next year
Yeah, which
at the
probably
earliest.
means it's going to get delayed, and you're
January
probably looking.
2024 or something. Yeah.
Absolutely. Exactly what I was going to say.
So it's a question. It's a question I'm gonna have to think about. And the other thing is too, if I don't make that decision by Wednesday, you still have a couple of weeks to make the decision. Like I said, it's getting funded. But you don't get that figure. So that's
Yeah.
the fear of missing out. But at the same time, the playset looks amazing.
It
But
looks
dude,
great, and look, here's the thing, if you're gonna back it, you might as well back it now to get the early bird figure, right? Because
and that's
you
the
don't
piece,
wanna be
yeah.
you don't wanna be the only person to not have that figure, you know? It's
Right. And so that's how they got you with that. So, but I don't know, man. That's a lot of money. This is where I may have to make an adult decision and show some growth. So we'll see here. We'll figure it out. And then just then Battle Cat will come up, and I'll have to make a decision there. So,
yeah, and I
but
think I
even
think Battle Cat is this week or next week, if I remember.
I think it's next
So,
week.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna I will. I thought I'd have my decision by tonight. I won't. I will definitely have my decision by our next show because I'll tell you what, if I do back it, let me end with this. If I do back it, I will back it here in the next 2 days because I'll
Yeah.
do it for the early bird. If I don't back it by Wednesday, I don't think I'm backing it. That's my litmus test right now.
Interesting, interesting. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
You will
Yep.
you will find out next week if Will is $650 poorer.
Right. Right. And kicked out of my house. That's a whole other story with if I come
I mean,
home
if
with
you want, you
a
could
three
hollow out
by 4 foot
Eternia,
plan.
maybe you could stay in there.
Dude, it's for $650. You know what's crazy? I dropped like $700 if they re-release like the USS Flag for GI Joe
That would be
because I
awesome.
have an attachment to that.
Yeah.
I had a buddy had it, and it was like it was the ultimate thing. We'd sit down and just mess with it, and just don't want to touch guys because certain guys have food, but just to see it like that, I just don't. Like I said, I didn't know it existed till later on. So I never had a chance. I've never seen one. I've never played with it. I don't have that nostalgic attachment.
But on the flip side of that, it could be awesome when you get it in.
Oh, I'm sure it's amazing. I'm sure it's amazing. But so we'll see, man. But I'll make that decision here in 2 days.
And look, it would look great next to the Snake Mountain that they're gonna release. You know, you need all of them lined up, looking great.
I know, but I'm just so used to having Grayskull on one side and Snake Mountain on the other. I don't even know if I need Attorney in the middle. We'll see. I'll sleep on it. I get 2 more nights to sleep on it.
It's going to be a very stressful couple nights of sleep. You're
Mhm.
going to be dreaming about it, nightmares about it.
Tossing and turning. Yeah, not
You
good.
know, nightmares of you yelling at yourself, "You didn't get the early bird figure. What are you doing?"
I mean, so you're reading my mind. It's scary. It's really scary, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's how we're going to end it. As always, thank you for stopping by and stay tuned for next.